The movie begins by highlighting the culture of the online world, where everyone is completely absorbed in their phones. Amidst this digital obsession, we are introduced to a young man who is browsing an online shopping platform called Target. This site is used for buying and selling secondhand items. Curious and focused, he sends his address to a female seller, even though they have never met before. It is revealed that he plans to sell his old laptop to her. The scene then shifts to our protagonist, Hyun, who works as the office manager at a business firm. She is seen scolding the laborers for messing up their task. As a result of their mistakes, Hyun ends up getting scolded by her boss, who instructs her to handle the labor work herself. At this point, we also get a hint that the boss may have some feelings for Hyun. During the lunch break, Hyun talks to her colleague Dalja about her broken washing machine. Since she's currently facing financial difficulties, Dalja recommends using the Target site. Through this online platform, Hyun can purchase a second-hand washing machine at an affordable price. Meanwhile, Min-jae, the young man we saw at the start of the movie, receives a message from the female seller he's been chatting with. She tells him that her brother will be coming to pick up the laptop. Shortly after, a mysterious man shows up at Min-jae's door. Without warning, he stabs Min-jae several times in the stomach, ultimately ending his life. It is later revealed that this stranger is a serial killer who chooses his victims through the Target website. After the murder, the killer posts the belongings of the victim on the Target website to make money from them. It's later revealed that he has a pattern. He first pretends to be a buyer to gain his victims' trust, then kills them and profits by selling their possessions online. Hyun becomes the next target of this wicked scheme. While browsing the Target website, she comes across a second-hand washing machine and decides to buy it by messaging the seller. However, once the machine is delivered and installed in her home, she discovers it's completely useless. Frustrated and angry, she tries calling the seller, but he doesn't answer. Believing she has been scammed, Hyun decides to file a complaint against him. At the police station, Detective Na and Detective Ju treat the case as a minor issue, but assure Hyun that they will do their best to catch the scammer. After returning home, Hyun decides to dig deeper into the seller's profile. While going through it, she spots a photo of the old laptop that once belonged to Min-jae, the young man who was murdered earlier. This shocking discovery reveals that the man who sold the washing machine to Hyun is, in fact, the serial killer. Unaware of the true identity of the seller, Hyun begins warning others in the comments section, telling them not to send money to him because he's a scammer. She also mentions that she has filed a complaint against him. Meanwhile, the serial killer notices Hyun's actions. It's revealed that he has access to a full hacking setup, which he uses to track and retrieve all of Hyun's online information. The next day at work, Hyun notices that her boss's way of speaking closely resembles the scammer's tone. This raises her suspicion that he might be the culprit. Later that day, she begins receiving numerous scam calls. Her phone keeps ringing non-stop, and she's flooded with messages from unknown contacts. All of this chaos is a result of the serial killer stealing Hyun's personal information. He posts it on various websites to order unwanted products under her name. To make things worse, that night, several delivery people show up at her door. Hyun becomes certain that the scammer now knows her address. The next day, before leaving for the office, she places a note on her door, warning that no delivery person should come to her house, or else the police will catch them. Later, Hyun, who now believes the scammer is going too far, visits the police station and urges the detectives to take immediate action. In response, they assure her that they are actively working on the investigation. That night, Hyun goes out with her friend, and they end up getting a little tipsy. As she returns home, it's revealed that the serial killer is already watching her from a distance. The following day, a mechanic shows up at her house, claiming he's there to fix the water sprinklers. This seems odd, as her sprinklers had never malfunctioned. Still, Hyun doesn't think much of it and leaves for work. Later that afternoon, Hyun receives a strange text from her brother, suddenly asking for money. She attempts to call him, but his phone seems to be turned off. This indicates that the serial killer was impersonating her brother to extort money from her. That night, Hyun hears a noise at the door. When she goes to check, the electric lock suddenly opens on its own. A man appears at her doorstep and asks if she is the woman he paid to be intimate with. Hyun immediately realizes that the scammer has hacked her electric lock and is now sending random men to her home. Panicked, she calls the detectives, which causes the man to flee. Moments later, Hyun receives a chilling message from an unknown number that says, "I am coming to meet you within 5 minutes." Terrified, she panics and sets a timer for 5 minutes. As soon as the timer ends, the door unlocks automatically once again, and another man appears. But before anything terrible can happen, Detective Ju arrives just in time and arrests the man. The next day, it's revealed that the man had also been sent to be intimate with Hyun after receiving her address from an unknown source. Later that night, the serial killer sends a terrifying message to Hyun, warning her that her death is near and that he's grown tired of playing games. Shaken and scared, Hyun immediately contacts the police. After a thorough investigation, the detectives finally track down the scammer's hideout. The place appears empty, with no belongings except for a deep freezer tucked in the corner. When they open it, they are horrified to find Min-jae's lifeless body inside. This shocking discovery reveals that the house actually belonged to Min-jae. It becomes clear to everyone that this is no ordinary case. The suspect is a dangerous serial killer. Meanwhile, it's revealed that the man who came to fix the water sprinklers at Hyun's home was actually the killer in disguise. He had secretly installed a camera inside the sprinkler to monitor her every move. One night, Hyun senses that someone might have entered her apartment, but after checking every corner, she finds no one there. The next day, the serial killer secretly follows Hyun to her home. Later, when her boss shows up to visit, she refuses to let him in, suspecting that he might be the scammer. Despite her refusal, the boss, who appears to be drunk, tries to force his way into the apartment. Frightened, Hyun quickly slams the door shut, accidentally injuring his hand. Later, Hyun discovers that her bathroom is in a mess, as if someone had just taken a bath. In the kitchen, she notices food scattered around, suggesting someone had cooked there. Suddenly, her computer turns on by itself, and a chilling message appears on the screen. "Today, you came home early." Terrified, Hyun quickly contacts the detectives. When they arrive and search the apartment, they don't find a single fingerprint, proving that the serial killer is highly skilled and careful in his actions. The harassment doesn't stop. The killer calls Hyun and coldly tells her that he knows all her bank details. Moments later, he drains her entire account, leaving her shocked and helpless. Meanwhile, the detectives finally begin treating the case with urgency. One day, Detective Ju waits outside Hyun's house, hoping to catch the culprit in the act. Suddenly, the killer smashes the car window and knocks him unconscious. Just as he pulls out a knife and prepares to kill Detective Ju, a nearby noise interrupts him, forcing him to flee the scene. The killer then makes his way to Hyun's house, intending to take her life that night. Around the same time, Hyun's boss arrives to apologize for his earlier behavior. When he sees the killer, he mistakenly assumes that Hyun is having an affair. A confrontation breaks out, and in the chaos, the killer viciously stabs and kills the boss. By the time Hyun returns home, the killer has already hidden the body and quietly slipped inside her apartment. Unaware of the danger, Hyun relaxes on the sofa until something catches her attention. Her eyes land on the water sprinkler, where she notices tiny camera lights flickering. Alarmed, she begins inspecting all the sprinklers, and soon realizes that the killer may have installed cameras throughout her home. As she continues checking, she stumbles upon a horrifying sight. Her heart trembles as she discovers her boss's lifeless body hidden in a corner. Just then, the door behind Hyun creaks open, and the serial killer stands right behind her. He suddenly attacks and knocking her unconscious. Meanwhile, Detective Ju regains consciousness, and Detective Na arrives at the scene. Together, they spot the serial killer driving away with Hyun held hostage. They immediately begin to pursue his car. As the chase continues through narrow streets, a truck suddenly crashes into Detective Na's car, leaving him critically injured. At the same time, the killer's car veers out of control and overturns. Despite the crash, the killer manages to escape. In the aftermath, Hyun and Detective Na are rushed to the hospital. While Hyun eventually recovers, Na tragically succumbs to his injuries. When Detective Ju breaks the news to her, Hyun is devastated and blames herself. After being discharged from the hospital, she decides it's time to end the nightmare. Determined, she teams up with Detective Ju, and together they create a fake profile on the target website, hoping to lure the serial killer into a trap. The killer quickly responds to the fake profile and sets up a meeting. Hyun, disguised and cautious, heads out to the location. However, she begins to feel that the killer might be onto her. Pretending to need the restroom, she steps away and secretly calls Detective Ju. Before she can explain much, the killer ambushes her from behind, knocks her unconscious, and takes her to his office building. When Hyun regains consciousness, she quickly locks herself on the balcony and calls Detective Ju for help. Moments later, the killer smashes the window with an axe, trying to reach her. Just as he's about to strike, Detective Ju storms in and confronts him. A brutal fight breaks out, and both end up stabbing each other. In a desperate move, Hyun grabs an automatic nail hammer and drives a nail straight into the killer. Despite that, the killer charges at her once again. After a fierce struggle, he almost manages to stab her, but Detective Ju intervenes just in time and throws him out onto a car below. The fight continues, and the two wrestle violently until Hyun manages to hold the killer back long enough for Detective Ju to strangle him to death. The case is finally brought to a close. A few days later, Hyun returns to her regular life, but the traumatic experience leaves her with a deep awareness of the hidden dangers that lurk in the online world.